Hi friends, welcome to the first video of 2025. I know I posted a video in January, but it was filmed in 2024. So technically this is the first official video of 2025. So I thought, what better way to start 2025 than going back and seeing how far we've come from when 2024 started to now, honestly. So for any of you that are new here, hello, hi, and welcome. I am Libby. I have been on a decluttering journey for the last year-ish, a little over a year. I ended a 4-year relationship. I had to move in from a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home to a 500 square foot, 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. And that is like the tiny little synopsis of what has happened. So I think in order to get a good grip on what has happened in the last year, we need to figure out why I started this. Just a little disclaimer, I talk about a lot of heavy stuff on my channel. I talk about mental health, I talk about eating disorders, I talk about all of the things, right? So if any of that is triggering to you, please watch at your own discretion. So on January 5th, 2023, I posted a video saying that life was hard. And right now, it's like, bum, bum, bum. It is a very accurate representation of how I am doing. I'm gonna eat some juicy fruit. The last week and a half have been hard. Actually, they've been pretty terrible. And little did I know that I was kind of spiraling before this, but I was really about to completely spiral out of control for the whole year of 2023, to be honest with you. I was making videos, trying to throw things at the wall to see where I wanted to be, because I was making content about weight loss, keto, and carnivore prior to, but honestly I wasn't losing weight, I was gaining it because I was getting extremely depressed. I was having a relapse of my binge eating disorder, and my relationship was falling apart. So all of those things were coming to a head, and I didn't feel like I could genuinely post content about food and weight loss when there was so much more going on in my life. So I decided to share my story of my domestic abuse. I kind of threw that at the wall, felt really good sharing that, getting it off my chest, tried to go back to a little bit of my normalcy, and then just threw at the wall cleaning because that's what I was doing in that moment. And prior to this, I would spend hours cleaning my kitchen before I would film to make it look like I lived in a clean house, and that was just not authentic at all. So during 2023, I was still really struggling. I didn't know what to do. My therapist and I were trying to figure out what I needed to do, and ultimately I was living in chaos and dishes were piling up, and I was so depressed. I'm already crying. Welcome to my kitchen floor. Life's been a little difficult lately, and things have been hard, and I just feel like any tiny little inconvenience could just knock me off my rocker, and I just feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. It's not, that's just me overthinking and having anxiety, but it feels like I'm just trying to claw out of this hole, and I can't get out of the hole. My mental health was spiraling completely out of control because, in all honesty, I was trying to hold on to something that was tearing me apart from the inside out. And that's a little bit dramatic because I was in a very healthy relationship, but just because it's healthy doesn't mean that it's right. I was just gripping for anything to stay in this relationship, and it was really taking a toll on me. And I think my YouTube channel kind of reflected that. I was just making videos and throwing things out there and just trying to make sense of everything. And then in February of 2024, last year, I started to declutter. Your girl's overwhelmed by all of the stuff in this house. You clean, and then you have to clean more because there's so much stuff, and it's just a never-ending door of stuff. And I bring stuff in, but I don't feel like enough stuff goes out. So we're gonna change that by just using a trash bag. One trash bag at a time. I'm going to take back this dang house, okay? Okay. And the reason I started to declutter was because November 2023, I ended my relationship. You know, it was very amicable, and it is exactly what needed to happen. If I could see that at the time or not, I don't know, but it's exactly what I needed. So I knew that I needed to start decluttering because I was looking at apartments and I was looking at places to live. I hadn't like gone and viewed anything, but holy crap, things are expensive and things are small. Okay, so I knew that I probably, if I did get a 2-bedroom, it was going to be tiny, but I knew the possibility of me getting a 1-bedroom was higher than the 2-bedroom. So I started to declutter. I started to get rid of things. I started to go through closets. I started to go through everything that I owned, and I had a storage unit, and I had had this storage unit for years. I don't even remember how many years. I'm sure I mentioned it at some point in the videos of decluttering the storage unit. But I was paying for it. Half the time I couldn't afford it. I was always late on it. I got 2 notices in its whole time being there that I was going to get like my stuff taken away because I wasn't keeping up on it because I couldn't afford it. It was expensive. It was almost like $200 a month for it. So I decluttered my entire storage unit, and that in and of itself was a huge feat. But I think starting to declutter the house before I decluttered the storage unit was the best thing I could have ever done, because when I was decluttering the house, I came upon a tote of just Kelly's baby clothes. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Are you kidding me? I'm literally already gonna cry. This was like worst case scenario. This is a tote full. Oh no. It's kind of like a train wreck you can't look away from, right? Shit. Yeah. They're just clothes. Like, they are just clothes. And if you have been with me since that video or have seen that video, you know the absolute mental anguish I was in just going through a large tote of his baby clothes, because there was a lot of trauma around that time in my life, and it literally resurfaced everything. Like, that's the part of decluttering and organizing that I don't quite think that people realize is a huge part of it, and it takes a huge mental toll on people. I've grown so much from who I was then. I don't want to forget like how strong she was and how bold she was for what she went through and how she turned me into the person I am today. And I think I do that a lot by holding on to items that bring back a memory of like, oh, I bought this when I was really struggling and I needed my space to be mine. God, I was doing so well. God, this one's gonna be hard. Okay, let me compose myself for a second. To work at Butternut Coffee, and I actually found this tin when I moved into the house that I was at, but I found 2 things. My grandma, she passed away in 2013, and she kept a lot of detailed notes about things, and my mom gave me this one. And it said March 15th or so, Libby moved. And it says, I will miss you. This was a note that my ex wrote me after I had our son, while he was cheating on me, while he knew that he either got somebody pregnant or he was sleeping with that person. I don't know. But it says, you did good, Mom. I love you. I just need a minute. I'm sorry. So once I had gotten the hang of decluttering in the house, I feel I didn't fly through the storage unit. Let's be honest. There was no flying through that, but I got it decluttered, and I did not bring a lot of that stuff home, which was the key, was to not bring a lot of it home, was to get rid of most of it. Trash. This is the only keep stuff that I have to put in my car tomorrow, which is amazing. This is the sell pile, not that little one. He not for sale. That brings us to moving, all right? I'm obviously in an apartment, okay? I found an apartment. It's something that I can afford. It's within my means. I almost went with an apartment that was a 2-bedroom, but I don't know if I was going to be able to afford it, so I went with something that was in my means that I knew I could keep a roof over my head relatively stress-free. I know that when I was looking for this apartment, I was never once excited about looking at any of the apartments. I was never once elated about the process because I knew Kelly would have to change schools and he loved his school. I knew that I would have to completely start over from scratch and like reframe my whole mindset and like going back to being a single mom again. And that's hard because like we've gotten so far into this video and I haven't cried. You get used to the idea that you're going to have somebody with you to raise a kid, right? Whether it be the biological father or a stepfather, a partner, whatever, right? You get used to the fact that, hey, I'm going to have somebody here to help me with the mental load, the physical load, the financial load. And then like from birth to 5 years old, I didn't have that with Kelly. I knew that I had nothing. It was me, solely me. But then like, you know, we lived together, we moved in together. I had help with Kelly. And then it's just kind of slap in the face of like, you have to do this all by yourself again when you thought that you wouldn't have to. So I hated looking for apartments. I hated every second of it. I didn't want to do it, even though everything is so expensive and it was difficult that way. I think it was more difficult because I was just pushing against it. I didn't want to do it. Even though I'm the one who ended the relationship. I don't know. It was hard. It was hard. And then I got this place. Look what we just got, friends. Still smells a little bit. It smells like piss. I saw the size of it. I had downsized and packed, but I knew I needed to downsize more because I had packed a lot of stuff into this tiny 500 square foot apartment. Okay, let's take the overwhelm down a little bit, shall we? And we're not even going to talk about leaving the old place, okay? I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours cleaning that. And that was just an absolute trash hole, okay? It was terrible. If you want to go watch those videos, I will link the whole playlist. I'm so dramatic. One last goodbye. That video makes me cry every time I watch it, though, to be honest with you.
Little sad eyes, don't you cry, 'cause you know. Little sad eyes, love will come, love will go. And when you're strong, you never ask why. But can you learn to love your weakest side? Little sad eyes, I see you carry all that pain. It's a sad life. If the hurt is all in vain, but you'll get through the darkest nights when you learn to find your shining lights. Little sad eyes, don't you see I am right behind you? Don't you know I'm carrying your weight? When you're down and when you're out, I'll be around. When you're strong, you never ask why. But I have learned to love your weaker side.
So getting to the moving in part, again, it was like the universe was like, this was a good decision, but I'm going to fight you every step of the way on it. Because I move in here and it smells like pure cat pee, right? I'm still struggling with the cat pee to this day. Literally where I'm sitting underneath this table, I have to clean it all the time because it smells like it. There's two spots in the bedroom that smell like it. And I've just given up trying with the landlords here because they don't help with other issues. I've just stopped caring about the cat pee. I'll just clean it myself. And if they say anything about it, I will just pull up all the videos of me cleaning the carpet throughout the time that I've lived here. I'll just show you what it looked like when we first got all the boxes in. How is all of this gonna fit in this apartment? Granted, that is kitchen, bedroom, and living room stuff, but like, what? Right. And it was a lot. It was overwhelming. I had no storage. I had nowhere to put anything. And I was so overwhelmed. Like, how am I supposed to go through boxes and put stuff away when I don't even have places to put it away? Like the kitchen stuff, yes, it comes with built-in cabinets and stuff like that, but there was no pantry. And then there was no place for all of my microwave and my air fryer to go. You guys have seen me put together a butcher's rack, this table and chairs that I'm sitting on. Oh, the pantry, the shelf in the pantry, we had to build that. So we have come a long way. And I continue to declutter and get stuff out because, like you guys, in my last video, I just got rid of 2 bags of clothes, even though I've already gone through those clothes a lot. And here's something that I think I was afraid to admit to myself mostly. I never wanted to move. I never wanted to move in here. I never wanted to do this part of it. So I think subconsciously I have been self-sabotaging by procrastinating and not unpacking and doing things as I know that I should have been capable of doing. I'm not saying that I have not been doing my best or that I didn't do what I could do. I think that I have given myself a lot of grace. I think that I have given myself a lot of space to deal with this situation because it is such a big deal. But there was some heavy procrastination on my part just because I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to make this place a home because it wasn't supposed to be the home that Kelly and I were in for a long time. It wasn't supposed to just be me and Kelly. Here come the waterworks again. But here's some other things that I have learned about myself over the last, I'm going to call it a year of decluttering. 2023 was just a year of like climbing myself out of a deep depression I didn't realize I was in. So over the last year, I have lost a huge attachment to material things and stuff. I don't even think twice now about getting rid of clothes. I don't think twice about getting rid of paper clutter. Like, there are things that used to be extremely challenging for me to get rid of that now I don't even flinch. It's like, you know, when you're working out, you work that muscle, it gets bigger and bigger. Decluttering is the exact same way. I've also learned that I do better by myself. Now this one I think might get me into trouble in the future. But I do much better alone because I know that the expectations are 100% on me. I don't have the illusion of somebody's help. I don't have somebody to fall back on. I can get pretty codependent when I'm with somebody. Not that that's a bad thing because you should be able to depend on the person, but just every time I get in a relationship, I feel like I lose a little bit of myself, and it's not even like the other person's fault. It's just like kind of my own fault. And I always feel like when I am alone, I kind of hit like I level up a little bit just because I know I have to. I have to push myself to do better and go further because nobody else is paying these bills. Nobody else is going to give me what I need and what I want. So it's all on me, and nobody else is going to pay for Kelly's soccer, pay for Kelly's swimming. Now he's doing basketball. Like, nobody else is coming to pay for those things, and I want him to be able to do all of that. I gotta step up and I gotta do it. And I feel like I have kind of come into who I'm supposed to be. God, you guys know, maybe you don't, maybe you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, my video about like Kelly's biological father, I met him when I was 19, and I feel like I was shaped into a person that I thought I should be. I wasn't living up to myself, you know? So now, being in this apartment decorating this apartment from ground zero with just Kelly and I think I have truly been able to honestly heal my inner teenager and go back to the young girl who just loved nature and loved being outside and loved being happy and with her family. And I feel like I've healed a part of myself being in this apartment that I didn't quite realize I was healing. He hates when I cry. I know. Like, I know that everything in life happens. I'm not going to say everything happens for a reason, because I don't know that I necessarily believe that. But, like, things happen and we learn from them and we grow from them. I think the best thing that I could have done was move into this apartment, this specific apartment, and have to downsize more and more and push myself more and re-find myself or find myself again. And I do think that that has a huge part of like decluttering, because I've had to surface up so much trauma, and I had to work through every emotion in the last year. I had to face things that I had not faced in 10 plus years, honestly. Like, it is it's not easy, and I will never sugarcoat it and never tell you it's easy, but my God, was it worth it. If I could have taken a quick little snippet of what it looks like right now and shown me in 2023 when I was extremely depressed and scared to leave, but I knew I needed to, I would have shown her it and said, hey, you know what you need to do and it's gonna be okay. And I think if I took a picture of what I'm looking at right now, she would believe me. I still have a lot of unpacking to do. I still have, not a lot. Honestly, it's not a lot. I need to stop saying that, because it's just like desk stuff and like the office stuff. It's not a lot to do. I have things to do still, but I also got a lot of Christmas presents that I haven't even touched. Mostly because I want to show you guys what I'm doing, but also I just haven't had time to touch them. All right, I think I'm done crying. But without further ado, I'm going to show you guys the living room now. And then I think I have a pretty fun plan, and I'm actually excited about it, moving forward, of how to just kind of fly through this last little bit of this apartment. And this is what it looks like now. Albert is still going strong. Are you trying to hide your bone? What a dork. Do you see how much this has come along? All the stuff that was over here, gone. Giant green tote, gone. We have come so stinking far, and I don't know if you guys noticed, I hung stuff on the walls. I need to get frames for my girls, okay? I just kind of duct taped them up there because I wasn't sure where I wanted them. My vibe here is just kind of like a portrait wall that's just mismatched of things. Like, my vibe is like outdoor natures, things like that. Like, that's kind of what I go on. Obviously, moon, universe, those things. I think the moon is going to go, hold on a second. Are you burying your bone in my sock drawer? What is wrong with you? Anyways, we're going to ignore that weirdo. I think I'm going to put the moon right here because I have a picture of a cow. And I'm not putting a picture of a cow in here to stare at me while I sleep. So I think we're going to put the moons in here and the cow out there. The bedroom hasn't changed a whole lot. My mother is actually helping me with Kelly's stuff, though. It doesn't look that much. Actually, it does kind of look different from the last time you guys saw. They still have that tote to go through. There's totes back here. It's just trying to get a child to declutter is extremely hard. And then I want to show you guys this. Okay, so I actually hate this blue comforter. That is getting donated. And I found this at Eco Thrift. This was, okay, so Target's price was $69. I paid $21 for this. This is a king, so it might be a little big, but I don't care because it's flannel. Where'd it go? At Target, $90, and I paid $5 for that. If you have an eco thrift near you, you need to go. This was $6 and this was $1.75. Like, what? It's just like stuff that might have minor defects and stuff on it, but it's literally like shopping at clearance Target. I have many more things from there because my sister and I have gone there twice because I'm trying to buy things for the house, and that's just the best place to buy things. Oh, I hung up that picture. Oh, and then hold on. My mom made this for me when I was, I think, 19 or 20. It's the lyrics to What a Wonderful World with that beautiful picture, and she hand wrote that. Gorgeous, right? Love her. Nothing has changed with the entryway. You guys ask why I don't put that on the inside. The door does not close if it's on the inside. I think the thing I'm most happy about is I don't have anything right here. Like, I can just fully walk into the apartment and then walk right into this. So the things that we have left, right? We have boxes of, like, my sister got me a shower tension rod that needs to go in the shower to put all my shower stuff in so it's not falling off of the ledge all the time. My mom got me 2 organizers over there that I need to hang. I have also got an under the sink organizer that I have to do. So what my plan is I am going to get sticky notes and put sticky notes on all of the totes and boxes that still need unpacked. But I'm also going to put sticky notes on, like, the boxes of, like, the organizers and things like that. And then I'm going to take, if I have, say I have 20 sticky notes out there, okay? I'm going to put those sticky notes on the boxes. And then I'm going to make duplicate sticky notes, fold them, and put them in a bowl or something. So we are just going to randomly pick from that bowl the things that I have to do. So whether it be unpack a box or do a project, whatever I pull from that bowl is what we have to do for that video. This, I think, is going to be a way to push myself out of my comfort zone, because I say a lot of times, oh, I'm not in the mood to do that, or I'm not ready to do that, I'm not there yet. This is gonna force me to be like, you gotta do it. The bowl told you so. So I think that's my plan going forward. There are, like, one of the totes behind me is Kelly's, and him and my mom are gonna go through that, so that one won't get labeled. But I do think that that will be pretty fun, to be honest with you. And I think it'll make it challenging and interesting, because I've been doing things like one box at a time, but I get overwhelmed and then I just freeze and I can't do it. So I got to really push myself out of my comfort zone this year to keep going and keep pushing. I feel really proud of how far I've come. I think that, like, just looking back at all the videos and where I started, especially like in the old house, like the kitchen, and like it was just so much to manage, and it was so hard to manage. And I didn't even realize that that was one of the things that was consuming me the most, was just how much stuff I had to manage. And it was like 3 people, you know, and it's a lot. So I'm just really proud of how far I've come. And I'm trying to recognize that and be kinder to myself. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I am very excited to get my sticky notes on my boxes and do the first one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please stick around. We have so much more to do. And I can't wait. I can't wait for this year. I feel like it's going to be a productive one. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. I scared Kylo. Bye.